All right, now as we open the debate, we will try to maybe stick to the topic at hand and the question that was asked. And George, excuse me, you were chomping at the bit, so you can go first.
Are we still on this?
We're still on the same thing. We're still on the same. Just to remind you, the question was what benchmarks would be established to evaluate the success of Build Toronto?
The reality is there's more than one partner with respect to the city. There's the city of Toronto, and the problem with Build is that they really want to isolate what we own and not really work with anyone else. That's something that needs to be improved. Public-private partnerships have to be created. The other thing is there's many lands that are owned by the private sector that we have to take a look at and see what we can and cannot do in the way of partnerships. That is a must. And what's happening, especially by waterfront, you've got a number of conglomerates of individuals that actually own sites as well. And it's separate. It's now become city versus the private sector.
Wrap it up.
I think someone needs to bring that together and work collaboratively to build that waterfront.
George?
I think a further opportunity that exists for us is to be found in the work that's being done at the Toronto District School Board. I think one of the things that we as taxpayers should be quite frustrated about is that the city and the school board, which have lots of places where they work in common and boundaries that they share, they've never really found much interest in working well. Shirley Hoy is there now at the school board doing some good work, and I think that when we look at portfolios of land and such, it would be very, very wise for the city of Toronto to be looking at also the portfolios in other public sector holdings.
Well, it's sort of funny that Mr. Smitherman says that, because the school board is accountable to the province. As a matter of fact, the school board got cut off from a lot of its authorities. The province gives it direction. And we have a problem in this community linking the community needs in terms of City Hall and the school board, because the province doesn't give, doesn't set up a system under which the two can come together and make it happen. Because he's right in the sense that there's a deficiency in our communities. We could have this opportunity of closing schools, not closing them, rather restructuring them so they be reintegrated in the community as community hubs. But that requires the province giving a clear direction to the school boards that they have to work with the city closely.
Rocco wants in here. Go ahead, Rocco.
While we're looking at the issue of consolidating or making the portfolios with greater visibility, I think we need to look at the fact that today there are all kinds of real estate and leasing departments in each of the different divisions of the city's mandate. And that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense from a cost perspective. It doesn't make sense from an expertise perspective when it comes to leasing, when it comes to real estate. And in the same way that the province went about bringing together some of those assets under the Ontario Realty Corp, I think there's great virtue in looking at that within the city's portfolio and including having a much more integrated solution with the school board.
Well, I'd just like to bring up one example, which is the TTC head office. It's going to consolidate 9 older buildings, bring people together, and there should be savings that come out of that.
All right, and Rob, I don't think you've had a word on this.
I think people are missing the point here. We have the highest in Toronto, the highest commercial tax rate in the whole GTA. Who's going to come here and create jobs? What incentive is there, ladies and gentlemen, to come to Toronto? We've been squandering our hard-earned tax dollars. When you merge 7 municipalities together like we did 13 years ago, we had 37,000 employees. So you would think the number of employees would go down. In the private sector, you merge a couple of companies, the number of employees go down. The number of employees went up. We're at 44,000. That's how poorly mismanaged the city is. This just does not happen in the private sector. None of these people here have ever created a payroll. None of them have private sector experience.
Excuse me?
Totally
They don't, and they
Come
have
on.
not had 10 years of City Hall experience. We need someone with that balance, with both business experience of creating jobs and reading P&L statements and creating payrolls, and meeting a payroll, and also we need political experience at City Hall. Mr. Rossi, you know what?
All right, Rob, thank you. Rob,
imbalance.
You know what?
A couple
You're
of
next
people
time,
want to have a
Mr.
little
Rossi, but I've never
response.
seen you
Rob,
at one
thank
council
you.
meeting,
Thank you
not
very
one.
much.
Seems you're
Rocco
going to
and
the
George
left.
and Sarah, just 10 seconds each, seriously. 10 seconds, Rocco.
Well, I think that it's unfair to say that there's no one else on here who has this experience. I've been a CEO of publicly traded companies, of private companies,
That's 10
and have
seconds.
run and built
That's
businesses.
10 seconds.
Well,
George?
Mr. Ford, you can't have it both ways. On the one hand, you just told us that you drew the biggest investment, Woodbine Live, which is largely commercial. And then on the other hand, you said, who the hell would want to come to the city of Toronto? I think that you got to start to have some consistency.
All right, that's your
Tax
10 seconds.
rates, that's
I have
Tax
24.
rates.
Yeah.
I have 24 years experience as an entrepreneur, and no, I don't have experience bringing cheap ideas into this city.
All right. we'll leave it at that. And we have the next question, which